Hi friends, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time visiting my channel. This is part 2 of me learning how to build a bathroom vanity. Hi, I'm Estorina. I make soft-spoken videos about woodworking, slow DIY, and intentional living. While editing part 1, I realized several areas to improve upon. So I headed to my local woodcraft and picked up the Kreg adaptive cutting system. I didn't have a track saw, and this whole setup seemed like it would check so many boxes. My neighbor and I then spent a few hours setting it up and calibrating the system. Sadly, I've been sharing my garage with the contractors, but they are taking up less and less space in there every day. This vanity is not my only cabinet project. Future projects include cabinets and shelves for the pantry, something in our entryway closet, organization in my husband's office closet, my daughter's closet, something in the guest room, and storage out in our garage shed. Being able to make safe, reliable, and repeatable cuts of really big and heavy plywood recently became increasingly important and fun for me. You know that silly quote, "Do what you love and never work a day in your life"? Yeah, that person had it all wrong. It should be, quote, "Do what you love and work on it 24/7 because it's fun and it's hard all at the same time, and you will spend every waking moment and some dreams obsessing over it." End quote. That's what it's like for me. What's something you obsess over and work on all the time? I'd love to hear about your passions in the comments. Check this out. I finally made one box. Nicola was so kind to teach me all her tips and tricks. It took like all day, but I learned so much. See, this is what I say when I mean slow DIY. It's strange how boxes can be so simple, yet so complicated at the same time. Quality build is something that's really important to me.
Basically just put it down on these. Okay, you're able to put it down on, which is key, and now just push it in. And here, listen to the click. Shut up. Again, right?
Needless to say, I was very excited to hear those 2 clicks when the drawer got into place. Now it's time to move my build to the floor. Welcome to my husband's empty office. We just replaced all of the hardwood floors in our house. Our subfloor was failing, so this is your first sneak peek at the new hardwood floors. I brought the piece in here because it's time to put on the adjustable legs. I chose this option for several reasons. We are going to tile the whole floor, and the tile has a bit of a texture to it. Also, my boxes aren't totally perfect, so that's another reason for the Kreg table. And we are playing with a delicate height that will fit under a window. With this being my first build, I needed to be able to make a lot of adjustments, and slightly smaller is better than even just a tad bit too big. Notice I marked the toe kicks so I don't place a leg too close to the front. These feet are made of metal and each one can hold 1,000 pounds. I watched a cool YouTube video about setting the boxes upside down and using the laser to slightly adjust the feet. This should get it close enough so that we only have micro adjustments at the install. Yeah, I don't know why I thought 2 legs would be stable enough. Well, they are when the boxes are screwed together. But for now, clamps will do. 2 weeks ago, I painted the toe kicks for the kitchen. The old ones got damaged in the demo, as expected. And let me tell you this, after watching many videos on primers and paint, I did not get it right. When my painters came to prime the walls, he informed me that I used the right paint, but the wrong primer. And I was never going to get a smooth finish. So that was a great lesson that painting is hard, and I no longer want to paint this cabinet either. I actually really wanted to use white oak, and it turns out I have just enough for the face frames left over from in the garage from our 2021 kitchen remodel. Okay, I got movers to help me move the heavy furniture back into the bedrooms and the office, so the vanity build got moved again. Welcome to our breakfast nook. The bottom drawers are almost 9 inches. Then the next two up will be 5 inches, and the top one will be cut to 2.5. I'm measuring all of them to see if the variation is close enough that I can cut them all to the same widths. One dimension that won't change is the size of the drawer bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and cut all of those. I believe that the variation is so small on the drawer slides that I'm going to go ahead and cut the remaining 5 boxes. The Craig table comes with 2 stops. You can set them at the same for larger cuts, or different as I did here to make the 18-inch long repeatable cuts for the sides, and then 10 and 11/16 for the front and the back pieces. Ooh, I almost made a mistake here. Can you catch it? Luckily, I caught it just in time.
Oh, good enough. Woo.
Three of the drawers need to get ripped down to 5 inches. This I prefer to do on my table saw. I love how the Craig table is the perfect height next to my homemade table saw stand. Now I have an in-feed table and an out-feed table. How convenient. 2 drawers got ripped to 2.5 inches. These are starting to get tiny. Time to drill some pocket holes in the front and back pieces. The drill holes will face outside, just like the boxes. Once the faces are put on the boxes, no one will see the holes and screws. Now that everything is ripped to size, it's time to cut the dadoes. This is the little channel where the 1/4-inch drawer bottom will slide through. I bought a dado stack, and it worked with my table saw just fine, but it made cuts that were way too big. And when I tried to just use one blade, the depth of the cut was so squirrely. So I went back to my table saw blade, and I'm doing multiple passes. I finally have a trick I want to share with you. In order to find the kerf of my blade, which is the width cut my blade makes, I took my setup blocks and figured out which one fit inside the channel. I then put a piece on the blade and moved the fence over just enough for the block to fit. Then I gave my fence a tiny nudge, and this will make the second pass through. It worked so perfectly to run my pieces through only twice. I was determined to make the remaining drawers in one day. I have other things to do, like edit this video. And then the power went out. That was not going to stop me from making my final 2 cuts. So I grabbed my portable battery and made it happen. The power was only out for 20 minutes, but I didn't know that then. The saw only made it so far before it shut off, but just resetting it 2 or 3 times made it through, and then I was able to just move on with my day. After the power returned, Nicola brought over some boards to make some cuts on my miter saw. I set the camera to record and forgot about it. I think this is truly what life is about. Finding friends that hold the same or similar interests that work together in a supportive environment. I feel so much joy teaching her the setup of my tools and then having the confidence in letting her do her thing, while I work on my thing. It was a constant back and forth of, why did this happen? And making adjustments, and then me asking her questions to get help. I haven't worked in an office environment since 2012, and the only job I've had since was a collaborative environment were the 2 years I worked at the Lotus Method as a pre-postnatal exercise specialist. We were very collaborative in getting our clients the highest level of service and knowledge. Since then, I've pretty much been on my own. I hope there are more moments like this. All the boxes are assembled. Now it's time to put on the bloom pieces and get them into the carcass. I then proceeded to break not one, not two, but 3 2.5mm bits. I don't know what was going on, but I barely made all the pilot holes I needed. I'm at the mercy of the construction timeline, so in the next video I will show you the installation of the vanity, fitting the face frames, making the drawer fronts and the door, and hopefully getting to complete this video in one magic snap. Until next time, do something brave.